Congolese student Arnold has lived in Delhi for 2 years. But these are tense times. A friend of his was assaulted by security staff at his building in an apparently racially motivated attack.
He
called him Kalu. Kalu means monster. My friend got angry. Why do you call me Kalu? Why? Then they took my friend to the basement and he was beaten up. He had 2 fractures. And as of now, he hasn't studied for a year.
Last May, another Congolese student in the city was stoned to death after a row with a rickshaw driver. Violence, insults, and even housing discrimination, often part of a daily life for the 30,000 Africans living in India's capital.
The way they eat, drink, live, everything is different. People say that they end up eating the street dogs, while families are scared that they'll chop up their kids and eat them.
The issue reached a tipping point after the student murder, with African ambassadors threatening to discourage new students from coming to India. Authorities responded by calling community meetings in neighborhoods with large African populations. Many Africans in India are students, attracted by the low cost of life, or businessmen looking for opportunities in Asia. India is busy courting Africa as advised to keep up with regional rival China. And if it's to succeed, it may need to show that its capital city is still a welcoming place to be.
On January 29, 2014, a young guy, Nido Tanya from Arunachal, was beaten to death in the Lajpat Nagar market of Delhi. The reason? He looked simply different. A couple of years later, 2 similar but parallel incidents took place. 2 young guys from Mizoram were beaten in Bangalore. 2 students from Nagaland were brutally tortured for hours by local men in Gurgaon to simply teach them a lesson that you don't belong here. What's terrifying is their intent. They chopped off one of their hair and said, if you tribal people from the northeast come here, we will kill you. A few years later, my friends and I were denied an entry into a hotel in Jaipur just because we didn't look Indian enough. A group of students from Assam on their trip to the Taj Mahal were asked to prove their nationality through their passports, and some of them even made to sing national anthem. A girl from Manipur was harassed by an immigration official at Delhi's airport, asking her, "Tum Indian to nahi dikhti ho? You don't look Indian enough." He also wanted to test her of her Indianness by asking how many states comprised India and what were the neighboring states of Manipur. Now, what is this racism?
It was during my exam in 3rd semester. I was coming back from college after giving my exam with my friend. 2 of the young guys, they were already under the influence of alcohol, and they started abusing us. Like, they're talking anything, bad things about us. They even speak like in Hindi. I don't know the exact meaning, but they're saying something like, "Teri behan ka me marega," or I really don't know the exact meaning, but I'm sure that it's a really bad word. It hurts me a lot, but I do not react them.
It was, I think, last year. We went to watch a Bollywood movie in a theater, and then the person who was in the counter who was giving me popcorn, I heard them over speaking. They were like, "What are these chinkies doing here? Do they even understand Hindi? Like, why did they come and watch a Bollywood movie?"
People in Delhi, they are not friendly to people like us who are from outside. They just want to mingle within the Delhiites, and they consider themselves as superior.
I think, like, as a woman, not only the Northeast states, but every woman, whether Hindus, I think everyone's sexually harassed. It's true, but then the women from the Northeast states, I think, let's say we are extra harassed more. We are more like, you know, we are more victims of sexual harassment.
99% of them doesn't understand about the way we are, the way we think, the way we raise our opinions, the way we try to portray ourselves.
I've been called many names. For Northeast girls, what's more common than being called Chinky?
Chinky,
Chinky, Momo, Nepali, Chowmin.
Chinese doll, something Chinese.
Oh, Bahadur. They used to call us by the names of all the Chinese foods.
they're so much in love with the word Nepali or momos or chowmin.
My face and my facial expression shouldn't make me a Chinky. I really feel upset when I see all this discrimination going on.
They want to discourage us so much, and we feel so helpless that we can't keep on fighting to each and every person.
What I see here is racism. I can see that it prevails in this society.
See, when India got independent in 1947, Indians have accepted the unity in diversity, which make India a most democratic country in the world, but it's not into practical, what I feel.
They need to open their minds and learn to accept others' culture too.
We cannot come to any complete solution, but I feel like there is a gap between our cultural understanding.
The bigger and the most important solution is, I think, education. I think the younger generations of this Delhi, or let's say India, should know about the Northeastern cultures and stuff.
But they are not ready to accept the people.
If Northeast is all about small eyes, I think India is all about small minds. I think that's it.
Is Delhi, after that whole incident we saw with the Ugandan women, becoming an increasingly intolerant city, a city that is becoming increasingly racist? These are some questions that we need to ask ourselves tonight. Veena Lakshmi, you were shaking your head there. Why? Because you've been talking about the systematic, in a sense, discrimination that students from the Northeast and young people from the Northeast face in the national capital.
I mean, the sequence of events is for everyone to see. We have been national media picked up after we were tweeting it constantly throughout the day. We were shocked that none of the national media base in Delhi did not cover this event in which this young boy, Nido Tiniam from Arunachal, was beaten to death. What I would like to say in this little program is that, like Mr. Nidong Iring said, that he will not call it outrightly as a racist attack. For us, I want the politicians, the lawmakers of this country, to recognize for once that there is a systematic racial attack against people, young people, men and women of the Northeast. Last year, Rangamfi was killed in her own flat in Chirag, Delhi, 29th May 2000. Dana Sangma was killed, died in mysterious death in Amity near Delhi. Richard Loitam was beaten to death in Bangalore. Hongre died in Munirka, just a few kilometers from here, again in one of the killings which happened to the women of Northeast. A young boy in 2008 was thrown off his second-floor rented room by the landlord's son in Safdarjung Enclave area. So it is time that India wakes up to the reality that there is racism in this country, all across the country. Xenophobia in this country, to say this land is mine, this area is mine. Nido Tiniam's killing is a byproduct of the systematic violence which is really made serious because our policymakers have failed even after 6-7 years of independence to recognize that we need to let the issues of the Northeast, even the fact we have been campaigning for, including the history of Northeast India in the Indian syllabus, has not been done, which means the history and the culture of 45 million Indians is not coming out.
But you use strong words there, and I'm...
ये क्या है? ये क्या है? ये क्या है? क्या है? आप कौन है? आप कौन है आप? बकवास ज़्यादा ही।
कौन है साथ में आपके? हेलो, आपके साथ में है यहाँ कोई? साथ में है कोई यहाँ? कोई साथ में आया है यहाँ? आपका मकसद क्या है ये बताओ आप? ईश्वर है ना, राम है बस, और कोई ईश्वर नहीं है। ये यहाँ क्रिश्चियन मिशनरीज है, जो इधर आना चाह रहे हैं। गलत बात है। हाँ मैडम, क्या मकसद है आपका यहाँ आने का, ये बताओ। नहीं बस
It's the unending shame for the whole country, the unending shame for the whole country, the unending shame for the whole country.
And brutally assaulting a woman near a salon in a posh Ahmedabad neighborhood has prompted the police to register a case of sexual harassment and violently causing hurt. The police have reached out to the woman who is from the northeast.
Some issue that spa owner has raised a certain question about her and one other co-worker. So because of the co-worker, they both have fighted. There have been a roughly argument between both of them, and then after she was bitten by the spa owner. It was, according to her, this was the person has also asked for the apology, and that's why she didn't give the complaint at that time. But police has requested her to give the complaint, so that's why she has filed the complaint right now. And now police is searching for the spa owner Mohsin, and he will be arrested soon.
U.S. as well as, I believe, British, the UK have issued warnings specifically to women, cautioning them not to travel alone in India.
Made exactly because the grounds given here was that India was a rape capital of the world. Therefore, admission was refused. India was a rape capital of the world. India was a rape capital of the world.
Looking right there at the U.S. travel advisory for people traveling to India.
The Indian government launched an ad campaign titled "I Respect Women," fearing the country's lucrative tourism industry could be at risk. But as the latest alleged attack shows, women in India continue to be targets of sexual assault.
नहीं तो ये रियली बहुत ज़्यादा ये मतलब गंभीर बात है और इसमें तो मुझे लगता है कि इंडियन एम्बेसी को भी इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए क्योंकि भाई ऐसे तो हमारे रिलेशन अच्छे नहीं हो सकते ना जबकि हम तो इंडिया में बैठ के ये मानते हैं कि इंडिया और साउथ कोरिया के रिलेशन बड़े अच्छे हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे का ख्याल रखते हैं, वहाँ के लोग एक दूसरे से मिलते जुलते हैं और मैंने कई सारे साउथ कोरियन चैनल्स भी देखे हैं जहाँ पे इंडिया को लेकर बड़ी अच्छी पॉजिटिव बातें कही जाती हैं, इंडियंस के बारे में बड़ा पॉजिटिव कहा जाता है, लेकिन उसके बाद भी इस तरह का बिहेवियर ये तो मतलब ये बर्दाश्त करने वाला नहीं है और इसको तो अपोज भी करना चाहिए, इसको सामने भी लाना चाहिए और इस पर कोई ना कोई एक्शन जरूर लेना चाहिए।
सर एग्जैक्टली
It was very painful, very painful. It was very painful, very painful. It was very painful, very painful. It was very painful, very painful.
펄빙처럼 포장해 주는데? 뭐야? 이건 뭐야? 아이씨. 뒤질래? 뭐야? 이건 뭐야? 아이씨. 뒤질래? 너 뭐라 했어? 너 야, 칭칭포? 너 비하했지 너 지금? 어? 놀러 와봐. 칭칭포? 놀러 와봐. 이 새끼가 이씨. 칭칭포? 일로 와.
चाइना कैमरा आपको गोजू भी
때려 왜 때려?
आपको गोजू ओए आपको गोजू ये चाइना from any it was good
뭐라고요?
hey oh you're China hey oh you're China
I'm from Korea.
China
And you're Pakistan.
no you're Pakistan you're
not China. I'm not China.
you're China this one
I'm not China.
you're China this one
I'm not China.
you're China this one
ये तो क्लियरली रेसिज्म का मामला था। तो क्या आपने वहां पर जो वहां पे आसपास लोग थे, किसी ने आपकी हेल्प नहीं की कि भाई ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए?
किसी ने भी नहीं करी
I just want everyone to know that you cannot normalize racism anymore. That time's up.
It's kind of part of life here. You will see these verbal fights happening when you're here in India. Or maybe I've just spent too much time in Haryana, hey nah. Now,
what is the most racist country ever? First we have Philippines with a racist rate of 31%. Next is Libya, 54% of people don't want other races. Followed by Bahrain with 31% racism. Lebanon is on number 2 with a score of 36%. And the most racist country in the world is India with a total score of 43% people who don't want other races.
Hapsi, Benki, Hapsi, Benchu, Pagal,
Bandaria,
Kuta, Kalia, Pagal, Chutia, Monkeys.
먹는 거잖아 또? 엄청 더러워 보이는 물에서? 어이 세수까지 하시네. 야 나도 세수 안 했는데 여기 세봐? 하면 바로 물가래. 빌라 오! 빌라 레건씨 여기 있다 찾았다. Is my phone number and my booking ID. Is application for trip. Is it here? 왜 이렇게 뭔가 좀 이상하지? It's here. Yes, 한결채. Is me.
This hotel is not international persons allowed.
So
you
I cannot live in here.
Order is booking. Transport to other hotel.
Another hotel.
Another hotel. For another hotel transfer.
This hostel is for only India.
Indian. Only Indian person. I am Indian. You are not Indian.
So I don't understand because I pay already. And where is my money?